Okay, looks like we're on. 6 minutes late, so I don't know if anybody came on and subsequently left or if we're still doing this. So I'm going to wait a little while to see if anybody comes on to participate. I did start this. This was a last minute decision to do this video. I thought I'd give it a trial run in anticipation of doing a series of live videos on a weekly basis to help those of you who are out there navigating the job search and looking to develop your career during these difficult times. So far, this was supposed to start at 4:30. It's 4:37 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and I just now figured out how to get this thing to go live with my camera. So I'm not seeing anyone. It was last minute. I did decide to do this at the last minute and just sent out a notification. So it's possible that we may not get anyone, which will be just fine. Uh, we'll try it again another time, but I'll wait for a little bit to see if anybody comes on with any questions. In the meantime, there are a few things that I think I can discuss for those who will come into this later and that might see this. And one of the things that I keep hearing from people is just generally fear about the job market and about what's happening. Based with obviously everything is related to COVID-19 and the crisis that we're facing. And I guess the first thing that I want to say to people is first of all, I've been in this business for 30 years. I've been helping people to find jobs, writing resumes, doing job referrals, had an employment agency at one time. So I've been involved in helping bring job seekers and employers together for pretty much my entire adult life. I saw what happened in the Great Recession. So nothing like this, obviously, and I don't think there's anybody alive who would remember the Depression. In that sense, I guess we're in uncharted territory, and you hear a lot of numbers being thrown around all the time. Numbers such as 1,010,000 jobs lost in Canada in the month of March. I think that was the figure. 400,000 jobs lost in my province alone, Ontario, Canada, in March amid the COVID-19 pandemic. 250,000 full-time jobs lost. 155,000 people lost their part-time positions. 227,000 of those just in the Greater Toronto area, right where I live. Unemployment rate in the province rising to 5.5 from 5.5% to 7.6%. And the numbers in the United States, across Canada, across North America, in many cases are just staggering. And it's very easy when you're faced with those types of numbers and that type of information coming at you to become overwhelmed, to get to the point where you say to yourself, you know what, I can't fight this. I give up. It doesn't make sense to be looking for a job right now. There's no point to it because you keep hearing every day about massive layoffs, businesses shutting down, even if just temporarily. And I know so many people have lost their jobs because of this crisis. But the one thing that I learned from previous situations is that even in good times, first of all, even in good times, it can take time to find a job. So, from that standpoint, whether times are good or times are bad, the best time to find a job, the best time to start a job search is always and will always be yesterday. Um, and what I mean by that, obviously, is that there's no point to waiting until things are perfect. There's no point to waiting until things get better. There's no point to waiting until things calm down. And the reason for that is that there are always companies hiring. Right now, every day, we are finding hundreds and hundreds of new jobs with companies that we had never even heard of before. We're seeing thousands of jobs being hired for by employers all across Canada and the United States. Yes, there are layoffs. Yes, there are businesses closing down, but there are also new businesses being created. There are new jobs being created. A lot of them are temporary. Yes, a lot of them are part-time, but they are jobs. So there are opportunities out there. So the thought that I can't find a job or there aren't any jobs for me is just a negative thought that it doesn't it doesn't benefit you to think that way. You have to keep in mind that there are employers hiring. Go to one of our groups, go to our Twitter, one of our Twitter feeds, go to our LinkedIn group, our Facebook page. You will see jobs being posted on a daily basis. We've redoubled our efforts to find and share information about job opportunities, about employers who are hiring, in part to help individuals who are out there looking, our customers, our clients, but also just to even show people, to give them hope, to give them knowledge that there are employers hiring and by the thousands. So it's not that there aren't jobs out there. Yes, the jobs have changed. There are different jobs than there were last month. A lot of jobs that used to be there may never come back, but there are so many new opportunities being created right now. So the first thing you really need to set yourself up to understand is that there are job opportunities. The job market is not dead. It is diminished temporarily, and it will come back. So keep that in mind. You may not get hired now. That's the truth. You may not get hired now, but you can put yourself in position. You can set yourself up to be first in line when businesses resume hiring. So you can reach out to people, you can make connections, you can make contacts. Again, companies are hiring now. Every day, people are being hired for jobs. Every day, I get notifications on LinkedIn about somebody being hired for a job. Every day, someone somewhere is hired for a job. Some of them are jobs that didn't even exist a month ago, 2 months ago. Some of them are replacements. There are people being hired for jobs right now. The other thing that I think I want people to understand, and it's helpful to understand, is that when you hear these numbers, 1 million jobs lost, 60,000, 6,000 people being laid off, um, those types of numbers are not necessarily related to you personally. And what I mean by that is that you have to put yourself in a position and you have to think is that you are one person looking to land one job. Don't get overwhelmed by the numbers of unemployed. Don't get overwhelmed by the millions who may be out of work, or the hundreds of thousands, or the unemployment rate reaching 7 or 10 or 15%. All of those things really aren't necessarily relevant to you. And all they'll serve to do by spending too much time focusing on them is to, I guess, bring you down, to depress you, to make you feel a sense of hopelessness. And that's the last thing you want to do. So focus on yourself. So let's say, for example, you are in, I can't even think of a category right now, but whatever your job category is, I don't want to single anyone out. Whatever your job category is, let's say you just heard that, like we did last month here in Canada, over 1 million people, or over 1 million jobs lost. Well, whatever your field is, that doesn't apply to you. The numbers that apply to you are the numbers of people that are in your field. So that's a much smaller number than the million plus. Then you can shrink that number further, because out of those people, you're not competing for jobs with all of those people. You're competing with the people who are actually searching for jobs. Now, you have to keep in mind that You're not even competing with all of the job seekers in the same field as you. Many people will give up for now. They're going to wait until things get better. You're not competing with those people. Some people are going to wait to be recalled by their employer. They're taking advantage of government supports, government assistance. They're not searching for jobs right now. They're sitting and waiting. You're not competing with those people, and they are included in the numbers of people who have lost their jobs. Some people will decide to leave the workforce for good, whether it be taking early retirement or just that they're at an age and maybe have the financial means to choose not to fight anymore, just to take what they have and go away, maybe start a business, maybe do something down the road. But those people are not looking for jobs right now. So you're not competing with those people. Then you have the people who are in different provinces or states, cities and towns. They will not be willing to relocate necessarily for the jobs that you're looking for. Not everybody's going to pick up and move lock, stock, and barrel for another job. So you're not competing with those people either. And then on top of that, many of the people who have lost their jobs are not going to have your experience. They're not going to have your skills and your qualifications. So you're not competing for jobs with those people. And then many will not be willing to do the type of work that you may be willing to do, because some of you will change jobs, you will develop new skills, you will look at your transferable skills and look at where else you can be employed with the skills that you have. So when you break it down and you take that, the millions of people that are out of work, that number can be overwhelming. But when you eliminate all of the people that you are not competing with, all of the people that are not looking for jobs right now, all of the people that are not in your location, who are not willing to relocate, it's a very, very small number relative to the bigger picture of that you hear in the media and on the news about how many people are out of work. And when you look at it from that standpoint, and you remind yourself that you are one individual looking for one job amongst thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs that are currently available, that are becoming available on a daily basis, and will become available more and more as we get through this crisis, then you can start to have hope. And you can realize that the best thing that you can do right now is to continue aggressively to pursue opportunities. Introduce yourself to decision makers, talent acquisition professionals, hiring managers. Find out which companies are thriving through this crisis. Find out which companies are surviving, who are stable, which companies may be benefiting on the other side of it. Make connections, make contacts, and continue to introduce yourself by sending your resume, by searching online, by making direct contact. I'll do another video about the different techniques that you may want to use to make contacts and actually conduct an effective job search. But you want to be active. You don't want to sit right now with the majority who are going to wait and who are going to unfortunately give up. You want to be active in your job search right now. You know, the world is changing, it's transitioning, it's not ending. It's not even close to ending, as far as, well, in my opinion. Economies are being reshaped. How businesses operate will change. Some will disappear, but new ones will be born, and new types of businesses, some that we probably can't even imagine now, will be created. And you have to keep those things in mind to prevent yourself from becoming depressed, to prevent yourself from giving up and figuring that, you know what, I can't find a job right now. It's just too tough. You hear it again. You hear it on the news all the time. Millions and millions of people have lost their jobs. Well, that is not who you're competing with. That is not something that you have to absorb and deal with yourself. You're one person looking for one job. Your resume, you need to revamp your resume. So let's focus on, the jobs that are available, finding and landing one for you. Do the things that you need to do. How is your resume right now? Update or revamp your resume. You have time. Yes, things may be a little bit slower. It may take you longer to find a job. It may be harder to get interviews. Before you could apply to 10 jobs, maybe get 2 interviews if you were in demand. Now you may have to apply to 100 jobs to achieve the same thing. So what? You work with what you have, but you need to put your best foot forward. So start by updating or revamping your resume. That's the first thing that an employer is going to see in many cases when you apply to a job. So make sure that that's top notch. Polish up your interview skills, especially if you get nervous in interviews or haven't interviewed in a very long time. That is critical. I speak to people every single day, video calls, voice calls, who cannot put a sentence together, who cannot answer the simplest of questions, who get nervous and rattled once you challenge them on any skill or ability. That's not going to get you the job. That's not going to get you through the interview process. There are tons of videos online. There is tons of information. There are coaches, professionals who do this for a living that can help you. There's self-help resources, and then there's paid help resources. Whatever your means is, pick and take advantage of it. Improve your interview skills. Identify companies that are hiring. Don't just look for jobs. Don't just look for postings. Look for organizations that are doing well, that are operating, that are functioning, and find those that are hiring. Find those where the job you're looking for exists and get your resume into the hands of those decision makers. Again, I'll talk more about that at another time. Connect with talent acquisition professionals and hiring decision makers as much as possible. LinkedIn is a great medium for that. If you can afford it, a LinkedIn premium membership would be a worthwhile investment right now. I'm not paid by LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn premium membership, and I know the benefit of having one when it comes to being able to find people and connect with people and allowing people to be able to connect with you. So if you can afford it, it's a reasonable investment to have a LinkedIn premium membership. It's one of the best resources for finding and connecting with decision makers that exist right now. Connect with the talent acquisition professionals and the hiring decision makers. Also, renew relationships with former colleagues, with former employers. Offer support. Let them know that you're available. Let people know that you're there to help them as well in any way that you can. It can't just be a one-way street. If all you're doing is going and asking people for help, if all you're doing is saying, hire me, I'm interested, can you offer me a job, then you're not going to be nearly as successful as those who make it a two-way street. It's a reciprocal relationship. The more you give, the more you offer of yourself, the more you will get back in return. So make sure that you are using your connections and offering your connections and your resources, whatever they may be, to help others. In social media, that means commenting on job posts, liking job posts, sharing articles, sharing information about resources, things that can help others. The more you share, the more active you are, the more visible you become. And in helping others, we all then are truly in it together, and we're all helping each other. So you have to focus on the things that are within your control, the things that you can do, the things that are going to help you to overcome. Keep busy. Exercise. Get out and exercise. Take walks. I know social distancing, I know a lot of things are closed down, but there are spaces. There are times of day where you can get out and get fresh air and exercise and walk. You have to keep yourself occupied, both with your job search, with your physical health, and with your mental health. Keep in touch with family, stay safe, and stay active in your job search. And if you do those things, whether you get hired now or whether you simply are building a pipeline so that once things turn around in your industry or in your field, you have the connections and resources and contacts necessary Not that you're going to end up going out looking for a job and saying, hey, are you hiring? You're going to know who's hiring. They're going to know you. You may put yourself in a position that once companies start to hire, once they're ready to bring people on board, they'll be calling you, asking you if you're available. That's the position that you want to be in. Again, you may not be able to get hired now. They may not be prepared to interview you now. That depends on each company's individual situation. But I can tell you for certain, because I see it every single day, there are jobs out there. Thousands and thousands of jobs available. There are companies hiring. There are companies looking to fill positions. There are companies interviewing, and there are people getting hired for new jobs every day. This is not the time to sit and wait. This is the time to become more aggressive, more active than you ever have been if it is that you want to land a new job. Hopefully that's helpful. Um, it turns out that I don't know if anyone is here listening to this. I can't see anything. I didn't see any comments or anything like that. So I don't know if I promoted it wrong or what have you, but I will be back. My plan is to hold one of these on a daily basis, um, even if it's just me talking to myself, as I seem to have done today. But I hope that the information provided will be helpful to many, and to those who may need a little bit of a boost, a little bit of motivation, and some good advice. Again, my name is Nigel Corneal. Well, I shouldn't say again. I don't think I said my name at the beginning. My name is Nigel Corneal. I'm the founder and the managing partner of BDM Service Network. We operate CFM Career Finder Marketing. We operate More Jobs Career Development Clubs. That's More Jobs Canada, More Jobs America. We have hundreds of pages and groups on LinkedIn and Facebook and feeds on Twitter where we do our best to share as many jobs as possible. We specifically try not to share jobs that are posted on major job boards like Indeed and on the LinkedIn job board and Monster and places like that. We try to target jobs that come from employer sites that are not found in those other places. So hopefully you'll attach yourself to some of those resources and you'll see the jobs, you'll like them, comment on them, share them with your friends, share them with your colleagues, let others know that these opportunities exist. We all are in this together and we all need to work together to collectively come through this. And again, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to sign off now. I'll be back again. I'll be back. I'll choose a better time, probably around noon Eastern time will be my future time. I might do a Saturday or Sunday session, depending on how busy I am. I'm not getting out much these days, as I think most of us are. So I have a little more time on my hands on the weekends. So hopefully, if you see this video and you want to hear more, or if you have questions, leave your questions in the comments. Tell me about what you're looking for, what types of jobs you're looking for. Not our clients. We already know you and we know what you're looking for, and we're working. Our entire team is working very hard to help you find what you're looking for. But anyone else, let us know. Let us know the type of advice that you're looking for, what you're struggling with in terms of your job search, and I will be happy to address those in future videos, whether it be that I do it live or I make a video and then share it through our social media network and probably on our website. Our website is bdmservicenetwork.com. That's Boy David Mary servicenetwork.com. And you'll find lots of resources in the job seeker section, job boards. You'll find our LinkedIn groups, our Facebook pages, links in the socials section. You'll see all of that. And we'll continue to try to find and share as many jobs and resources we possibly can to help you get through this crisis and beyond. Thanks for watching, even if it's after the fact. And best of luck to you in your search, and God bless.